What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be doing a brief overview of the market, and then we'll be talking about a few low cap altcoins that I'm actually looking at. Sorry for my voice, guys. I'm a little congested, or a lot of congested, however you want to look at it. But most of these altcoins that I'm going to be looking at are going to be around like the 1 cent or less range, with the exception of maybe a few that are like $1 or higher that are kind of tied. Well, not tied, but like closely related to the specific alts that I'm talking about. So I think there might be only one of them. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the market. As you guys can see here, we're looking at crypto bubbles right now. And we are currently pretty much red for the day. And for the week, it's pretty much just about red. But there's some interesting things going on right now. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at them right now. So right now, most of the market is on the short side for right now, but it is early in the morning. Today is July 16th, 2022. It's 7 in the morning. So we do have to wait for everybody to kind of like wake up and just start seeing things. But as you guys can see here, most of the market is pretty short on crypto right now. But let's go ahead and check out this Bitcoin chart. So this is the same exact Bitcoin chart that I did 5 days ago last week, and here is where I mentioned the 11th, which was the big date that I was watching, where we actually did wick all the way down to I think it was like 18.8 or 18.6k. So if you guys were watching my video back here around 22k, 21k, yeah, that was definitely a nice time to get a nice little quick short in if you were looking for a short trade. But anyways, guys, before I get started any further in this video, nothing that I do in this video is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just simply like posting my own personal opinions and where I personally think the market is going. But anyways, guys, as we continue on in here, let's go ahead and take a look at a few things. So here's one of the very interesting things that I'm watching right now is that on the I think it was like a few days ago, like I mentioned before in my last video, Canada and a few other things were coming down the forefront that we haven't gotten to yet. Like the 21st, I think, was the European rates, and then we have like the 27th or something like that for the US. But we've already gone past the date for the Canada hike, and that actually surprised everybody. So I'm going to run over here really quick. As you guys can see, Bank of Canada surprised everyone with a 100 BP rate hike, guys. So honestly, in my personal opinion, I think we're getting very, very close to the point where we're going to start seeing them ease off in the coming months. And I think this may be the height of it, possibly, but I'm not 100% sure. But I feel like the U.S. is pretty much going to be the leader on this one, along with Europe following slightly behind. So with that being said, that would obviously be part of the reason that we've seen some of this happen today. So pretty much I'm still looking at this same exact chart, and exactly what I said in my previous video is exactly what I'm expecting still, but there is a slight change here, guys. So as you guys can see here, we haven't really fallen below this trend line here, so we might actually be able to start trending back upwards towards this range that I've been talking about. What I'm really looking for is for us to break above here. So if we could break above here and we could get above this 23.4k, 23.5k resistance, then we can pretty much say that we're flipping on bullish for right now. And one of the reasons that I'm actually kind of looking at this would be the DXY right here, which I also talked about in my previous video, I think, I'm pretty sure. So with the DXY, this is the same exact chart. As you guys can see, we've been following this trend line here. I'll see if I can stretch this out a little bit more. So as you guys can see, we've been following this trend line here, and we've actually broke above this resistance point. So I'm kind of expecting us to see a bit of a pullback and a little bit of topping out on the DXY, which would mean once the DXY comes back, we should see some forward movement in the market. So that's what I'm expecting for right now. But I will put a huge but in this one. Let's scroll out a little bit. Hopefully we're not seeing like a 2001 to 2000, like 2000 to 2001 type ordeal, where we think we're topping out and then things continue to go forward, or we're seeing, like, I think it was 1985. Yeah, we're seeing a 1985 situation where, oh, we think everything's like starting to top out and pull back down eventually and coming close towards that, and then things go just completely ballistic, guys. So we're going to have to be very, very careful here with keeping a very close eye on the DXY and on just the global economic conditions in general. So with all that being said, we are in a very pivotal moment in the market right now. A lot is going to be deciding on later into next week, and I believe we're going to end up seeing the direction of where the general market's going for the rest of the year within the next few weeks to next month. So we should get our general direction by then. So let's go back over here to Bitcoin really quick. So as I said before in my last video, these are the ranges that I'm looking at. If we could break over that 23.5K range and get into this area here, which is 26K, because I believe once we break that 23.5K and come towards 24K, it won't be too hard for us to get around to 26K. And if we could kind of break from 26K to get up to about like 27, 28K, then I don't see any reason why we shouldn't possibly be able to make our way back up to that 30K range, with a 32K being a very strong resistance point. And from there, we'll have to really reassess things. But if things were to go down, we were to break below this range here, which is like the 18K that we've came down and tested. If we were to break below 18K and actually hold, then I definitely see us coming right back down towards retesting previous lows. And from there, if we break below those lows, that's where we're going to see some downward momentum towards like 15, 14K, and then very, very strong support around 12K. We might possibly see a wick below that, but then we should be able to bounce right back up and see that support back around 12K. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and look at some of these altcoins that I was talking about earlier that I'm actually accumulating and dollar cost averaging into during these times in the market. Now, these aren't the high cap or mid cap altcoins, so keep that in mind when I'm bringing some of these up. And they're not all of the low cap altcoins or coins that I consider low cap. They're not all of the low caps that I'm actually accumulating, but they're some of the main ones that I'm accumulating. So let's go ahead and get into this really quick. All right, so if you guys were already expecting this, obviously they're not in any order, but Proton XPR, guys, I've done quite a few videos on this, so if you guys want to check that out, I think I got a whole playlist for Proton that I'm working on right now. But anyways, guys, Proton is currently at 0.00275, down 0.81%, guys. This one has a ton of potential, and I honestly believe that the team here is going to make things happen as they have been. And this is just one that I'm really, really standing behind as far as layer 1 and regulation and things like that go. They've been doing a very, very great job on just tackling all fronts of just about everything, guys, from DeFi to just being a layer 1 and operating with just the different things that layer 1s have to pretty much keep up with, guys. So I could go into that a little bit more, but like as I said before, I'm congested, my head's a bit combobulated, and I'm not really feeling it today, but I really wanted to get a video out today, so that's what we're doing. So let's scroll down here and kind of look at the chart here. So this is what we're looking like on the day, but let's go ahead and look at the year. So once we get this to load up, when we're looking at the year here, this is pretty much what we're looking at. Now, here's what I want to talk about with a lot of things that everyone's been talking about. A lot of people are scared to kind of accumulate around these levels, but when you look at it from the broader perspective, if you guys look at it, this is the time, like around this time, this is the time where you want it to start scaling back and be a little bit more cautious with your buying, and pretty much probably taking profits around here. Now, here is where you definitely didn't want to be buying, guys. Like, this was the top, obviously. So when we were scaling back down here, you could still probably end up taking profits. But down here is definitely not the time to be afraid. As you guys can see here, where would you rather be afraid? Up here or down here? So obviously this is pretty much lower than the time before this even all started. So obviously, guys, if you just look at it from a common sense point of view, down here is definitely not a bad time, in my personal opinion, to be accumulating. As I said before, this is not financial advice. So there's also a few others. As I've mentioned before, Proton is a layer 1. If you guys want to check out my other videos, there's a few other tokens on Proton that I'm accumulating as well that are in the same range, if not lower. So we'll go ahead and scroll down here to just a few of them, guys, and talk about a few of them here. So obviously metal's above $1, but it's definitely one that we'll go ahead and look at in a minute here. There's Proton Loan. Proton Loan is definitely one that I'm looking at because there's tons of things going on over there, and it's pretty much like a Aave competitor. And in my personal opinion, I believe this one's going to have a very, very successful future, as well as things like Snip Coins, which I did a video recently on Snip Coins. It's pretty much a social media platform based on crypto, guys. So it's really, really awesome to see things like that. It's a big competitor of Twitter, in my personal opinion, better than Twitter. But definitely go ahead and check that video out. I dive a bit into that one as well. And then there's also Storex and quite a few others on here as well that I haven't mentioned, like Pixel for Pixel Heroes. I think this one is at 4 cents right now, yeah. And there's just a ton of other projects on here that you guys can kind of look into. So let's go ahead and talk about Proton Loan really quick. So we have Proton Loan right here, which is also going to be getting listed on MEXC, which is today actually, because today's the 16th. So the Loan USDT pair will be listed as a spot trading pair in the innovation zone at 10 o'clock on today, guys. So UTC time. So definitely go ahead and check this out because I believe this could give Loan token a little bit of a run possibly here in the coming hours. Also keep in mind, this is a really really big step for Proton Loan, because I think this is the first exchange that Loan is being listed on, other than being on the Proton wallet, which is the web auth wallet, which is pretty much like a DEX, pretty much basically. And I just honestly believe this is going to be a very, very big catalyst for Proton Loan. But anyways, let's also go ahead and talk about Metal, which is MetalPay, MTL. If you guys aren't following them on Twitter, just go ahead and look into doing that. I don't know why I said Twitter like that, but definitely go ahead and look into following them on Twitter, as well as following Proton on Twitter, because you can get a ton of information. And pretty much just want to go over this one as well. As you guys can see, this one is in a uptrend on the day, up 6%. They actually had some very, very great news come out, as you guys can see right here. Actually, Metal has been added to the new asset listings on the roadmap for Coinbase, which is huge, especially considering that there's somewhat of a Coinbase competitor, which is very, very huge, actually, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and look at the yearly chart here really quick. We'll just give this one like a real quick view, a real quick talk over. As you guys can see, this one hasn't been beaten down as much as most of the market has. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I mean, it was almost to $5. But guys, it hasn't even fallen below the dollar range for much longer than maybe a few days. Obviously, like you can see here, and then it like had this strong recovery back upwards, and is pretty much holding above that dollar range, and hasn't given it up since. So definitely something to keep in mind, and definitely something to look into. They also have sorry about that, guys. They also have the Metal Dollar, which you can actually check out here, which was just recently talked about, which is the pretty much the stable coin for Metal, which is, you can look it up on the metaldollar.com. The stable coin that you never buy or sell. That's the tweet, guys. So definitely go ahead and look into that, because there's tons of things going on between Metal and the Proton ecosystem in general. So in the future, you will pretty much deposit and withdraw stable coins directly from your bank with no fee, no minting fee, no gas fee, just straight from your bank to the blockchain. Welcome to the future. Welcome to Metal Dollar, guys. So definitely look into that, because you can learn quite a bit about XMD and MTL and XPR, guys. But anyways, let's continue on here. Hopefully I can make it through this video, dude, because I didn't think it was going to be this hard, but I'm doing a lot of talking, so my nose is just like telling me like, yo, we got to end this. But let's keep going. So next up we have Digibyte here. So Digibyte, I've been a long supporter of Digibyte. So pretty much I don't really accumulate too much Bitcoin, really, guys. What I am accumulating is things that I think can be competitors of Bitcoin, or things that I think could be like pretty much better than Bitcoin, which is a competitor of Bitcoin. So I've really liked Digibyte from the start, and I'm still following Digibyte, and I just like everything about Digibyte. So if you guys want to learn a bit more about Digibyte, I definitely should probably do another video, more recent video on Digibyte. So if you guys want me to do one, leave a comment in the comment section below. But anyways, as you can see, Digibyte's actually up 11% while Bitcoin is down right now. So in my personal opinion, Digibyte's been holding up pretty good. It's really not trying to give up that 1 cent range, quite similar to Metal not wanting to give up that $1 range. As you guys can see here, let's go ahead and look at the year so I can kind of show you guys what I mean by that when I say that. So as you guys can see down here, we've been holding this 1 cent range. It's gone down to 9 cents. I mean 0.009, maybe like once or twice. And other than that, it just hasn't been wanting to give up this penny range, which is really impressive in my personal opinion, considering what most of the market is doing right now. Obviously, the same thing with everything else, guys. Up here is where you want it to be cautious. Down here, obviously, why would you really want to be as cautious? I mean, unless you think the market's going to complete zero, down here is a great time to be dollar cost averaging and looking into things. As I've said before, guys, not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, but Digibyte is definitely one that I'm constantly adding to the ledger and just constantly accumulating, guys. So this is definitely one, in my personal opinion, that should be looked into, especially when you look at the all-time chart. Because I don't even think 8 cents was the all-time high. I think it was around like 20 cents, 18 cents, somewhere around there. If I can get the screen to load up, my computer's doing like really bad right now. Let's see. So yeah, around like that 16 to 18 cent range. So if you guys look at it from this perspective, down here is a wonderful time to be buying, because if we even like retest these highs or go higher than that, the potential for profit is just insane. And if you're holding a nice size bag of any of these projects, then you should be looking good coming towards the next bull market if you're optimistic on crypto and don't think it's going to zero. Next up, we've got a very low one right here, which I think has a ton of potential, which is Polylastic. POLX is the ticker symbol for this one. I think this one might actually be the lowest ranked one, which is at like 4,817 rank. So there's not many people watching it either. So this is definitely a very dirty low cap, guys. Not like dirty like that, but like it's low. It's low. So market cap right here via CoinMarketCap, which I don't completely trust CoinMarketCap, is right here, 1,743,000. So that's what they're saying this is. I'm not 100% sure this is accurate, because as you guys can see here, we got the explanation points. But anyways, let's go ahead and check this one out on the day. So on the day, this one's been all over the place. Right now, it's on the low side. Let's go ahead and check out the year. So as I've said before, the year on this one, the year on pretty much all of these, I'm going to be regurgitating myself a lot here, just trying to get the point across. So like around here, very sketchy time to buy. Down here, why would you be as sketched out? You know what I mean? Especially if you're supposedly bullish on the market. Now, when we look at the all-time, see if I can pull the all-time up really quick. This is where this one gets interesting in my personal opinion. Okay, so when you pull up the all-time, we are super duper low. So like if there was any VCs or just like anyone in general who had access to these coins and hasn't sold yet, and pretty much is more than likely lower than what they got it for, why would you want to sell this? You know what I mean? Like, you're getting it for cheaper than what they got it for, and they're still holding. There's got to be reasons, you know what I mean? And the fact that this project is so low and has been going down for so long, and the team is still continuing to actively engage with the community and actively keep everyone updated, and is still working towards their product, big green flag for me. So if you guys aren't following them, definitely go ahead and follow Polylastic on Twitter. They definitely keep everyone updated. They've been doing tons of things from constant burns, consistent burns, guys, so that supply is consistently being burnt down. And there's just keeping the community updated. This was just 2 days ago, guys, so definitely one to look into, especially when you're looking at the top 1,000 holders. So there's not just like a few wallets that are holding like most of the supply. Like, this isn't really a lot of the supply when you think about it, especially when you think about the price. So this is definitely one to look into, in my personal opinion. This is on Polygon Scan, by the way. But anyways, guys, let's go on to the next project. But real quick, pretty much what Polylastic is, for those of you who don't know, I've done a video actually with the team. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out, where they pretty much explain some of the objectives of Polylastic that have actually been already met by now, and some of the things that they're currently working on with releasing their indexes and their product and whatnot. So Polylastic is pretty much a digital index protocol geared towards offering the very best indices in the crypto market. So pretty much you can think of like S&P 500 crypto. So that's pretty much what Polylastic is working towards doing. You can also stake Polylastic and things like that. So if you guys want me to do a deeper dive on Polylastic again, an updated dive, because I don't think I've done a video since about last year on Polylastic, maybe earlier this year, definitely go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. But this is definitely one that I am steadily accumulating. I actually just staked some more just recently. So that's Polylastic for you guys. So next up we have Block, which is Blocktopia, and as you guys can see here, this is pretty much I tried to diversify things as much as possible. We had Proton, which is a layer 1, and then we had Digibyte, and then we have Blocktopia, which is like Metaverse, guys. So definitely trying to diversify things. And then we had Polylastic, which is like indexes and stuff like that. So definitely trying to diversify things here a bit for everyone to kind of look into, just in case one thing isn't like your real vibe and you're like vibing more towards like Metaverse and like gaming and things like that, rather than like looking into DeFi and layer 1s and stuff, you know what I mean? But anyways, we have Blocktopia. Blocktopia has been beaten down. That's one reason that I really like Blocktopia, because I like the vision of the team, and they're also still active, just like I mentioned with the Polylastic team. But anyways, the one reason I like this one is because it's been beaten down so hard. I think it's severely oversold, guys. So it topped out around the same area that Digibyte has. Digibyte is holding 1 cent right now. Blocktopia gave up 1 cent a long time ago and is actually sitting at 0.003 and is borderline triple zeros. So in my personal opinion, if this one's going to come back, it's going to come back with a vengeance, and it's going to blow everyone's minds. This one could easily come back up to this range and provide tons of profit for mini, especially if Blocktopia touches down on a few things that they've been promising to the community. So this is definitely going to be one that's very speculative, because there's not too much that's pretty much been released with this one. I mean, there's a decent amount that's being worked on, but it's definitely a highly speculative play in my personal opinion. But if they actually execute on everything that they've promised, things can get insane here really fast. So Blocktopia is definitely one that I'm accumulating over the long haul, because why would you not, when it's as cheap as what it was shown, like 0.003, guys, and it was at an 18-cent high. Like, that's just a steal. And like I said before, like, some people were like getting in it around this range. Now you can get it way lower, like 0.004. You can get it now for 0.003. Like, why would you not, in my personal opinion? As I've said before, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But let's go on to the next project. Next up, we have Veracity. So this one's really close to that Metaverse area, gaming area. I've done a lot of videos on Veracity, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. You guys can go ahead and check those videos out. One thing that I do want to bring up is there's been a lot of FUD and things like that. I don't even want to call it FUD, because it's things that people should be concerned about. So there's been a lot of discussions about the circulating supply and things like that the team have touched down on, but there's still quite a few questions out there regarding that, as well as a few other things that the team has promised and that Veracity in general is saying that they have to offer. So definitely a few red flags there, so I'm not going to just go ahead and sugarcoat things. I'm still a big fan of Veracity, especially if they can pretty much continue to pull through and just go against the grain and go against the crowd and prove everybody wrong. Definitely one that's very speculative as well, as like mentioned with Blocktopia. But when you look at it, a lot of things in the metaverse space and gaming space with crypto are very, very speculative, because it's a really, really big space. It's a space that has the potential to pull crypto back into a bear market. Like, it's one of those spaces that I believe personally have that type of potential if all it needs is just one thing to take off, just like one game that just like catches the attention of people who aren't even into crypto, and it just gets popular for a short period of time. It just takes just that one thing, guys, or like a metaverse, like let's say Meta gets into something and partners with somebody or something like that. Just one thing and everything can take off in the space. So as I'm not going to regurgitate myself here again, but you guys already know the spiel. Like, definitely a great time to be buying Veracity here, especially if it still has that potential, and if the team actually like comes through and pretty much delivers, guys. Because if they deliver, we can see it blast past this 9-cent range, 8-cent range, which was the all-time high around like 8 cents, almost 9 cents borderline. So you could definitely see this one going up like ballistically, guys, in my personal opinion. So that's Veracity right here. If you guys aren't following Veracity, definitely go ahead and do so on Twitter as well, because you guys can read up on just the different things that they've got going on. Like, they post things with their roadmap, and whenever they have different things going on, like partners and Telegram groups and just AMAs and things like that, you guys can go ahead and get the first year in on the things that are going on with Veracity and just other projects like them. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the last and final project. And keep in mind that there's quite a few projects out here that I haven't mentioned, like B Pro. There's a few other projects on here, like Shaw and I put Cardano on there. Cardano's definitely not a penny, like at a penny, but it's down there. IOTA and things like that, and Helium, HNT when we would get into the bigger price things. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and talk about Telcoin. So last but not least, we have Telcoin. I've been steadily accumulating this. I've been keeping up with this one for quite a while, ever since they had the whole judicial thing with the state. I forgot what state. I think it was Utah. I feel like it was Utah. Was it Utah State? I don't know, guys. Like, I can't even think straight. Pretty sure Utah's a state. Let's look it up. So for starters, Utah is a state, is the 45th state, but with Telcoin, it was in Nebraska, so I don't, like I said before, guys, like, I'm not here. I just took some medicine too, so it's probably not the best thing. I think it was Benadryl. See, I can't even remember what I took, dude. Like, that's how bad this is right now. But anyways, guys, so they also had their crypto bill pass, so I've been following them since then. I was like actively, like, every day that they were allowing people to watch live, I was there, keeping track of it. And that was back at like 4 or 5 cents, something like that. So that's one big reason that I'm very interested in things like Proton, Metal, Pay, and Telcoin, is because they fall under that what I consider to be a safe regulatory net, possibly for crypto. So definitely want to look into projects that are following U.S. regulations and things like that, because once the U.S. does drop the hammer down on regulation with crypto, you're definitely going to want to be in the projects that are already well established in the regulatory space, in my personal opinion. Not financial advice. But anyways, we got Telcoin right here, which is really, really close to triple zeros, and which is another reason I really, really enjoy dollar cost averaging and accumulating this one. So we've got Telcoin that's been pretty much, let's go and look at the all-time chart here, so you guys can kind of see like exactly how beaten down this one has been. I honestly put this one up there with Blocktopia. It might even be worse than Blocktopia as far as getting beat down. Probably not. Actually, no, it's not worse than Blocktopia. But so it's up there. As you guys can see, we had like a 6 cent high, and now we're all the way down here. We're definitely not as low as well, are we as low? let me scroll up here. Okay, so we are as low as around this range, if not, yeah, we are lower actually. So this is definitely a very, very great time to be accumulating something like Telcoin. I don't think there's any other chart on here that's like looking as appealing as this, actually, in my personal opinion, other than like Polylastic, which was a bit more, in my personal opinion, riskier. But yeah, guys, like Telcoin is one of those ones that, like, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe I should be accumulating a bit more than what I am right now. But definitely a bit on the speculative side as well. They've just started their marketing, things like that. And they've been increasing and ramping up on their marketing, and just been doing it quite a few things with their Telcoin app and stuff like that. So they're definitely, and they just had a campaign where they were like allowing people to get, like, I think it was like 5,000 free tel if they did a few specific things that they asked, and then you can also get another 50,000 free tel, or it was like 100,000 free tel by doing another few things with their Telcoin app. But that campaign's already been closed off. So if you guys did get on that, good job. But yeah, Telcoin's definitely one that I am accumulating, and now that I'm looking at it, I think I might start accumulating it more and start scaling down a little bit less on things that I think I have a decent bag of, like a Digibyte, and especially since Digibyte is somewhat of a competitor. Like, they're not completely the same, but like they're in the same realm, in my personal opinion. And Digibyte's a hell of a lot more decentralized than Telcoin, in my personal opinion. But yeah, that's Telcoin for you guys. So if you guys want, there's a community update actually on Telcoin that was released yesterday for Volume 9, and it just goes over quite a few things, like the June promo, the tech update, and commercial updates and things like that. So Telcoin is definitely one to look into, in my opinion. If you guys have any other projects that you guys think we should all be looking into, definitely don't be shy to share them in the comment section below, because I'm definitely interested in adding more crypto projects to the watch list, even if they're not really, really low cap, really, really low price projects. I just like to make a lot of my money investing in these really, really low price projects, like investing in like Chainlink before it even hit $1 type thing, investing in Cardano before it hit $1 type thing. I like doing that, and then once it reaches my specific price points, I usually scale down a bit. I still hold a bit of the bag, and then I'll go back down to the bottom floor and start searching for those projects that are like yet to be found again. You know what I mean? So like that's my process. But everybody, to each their own. Everybody has their own process when it comes to things like that with investing and trading. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today's video. If you guys like my content, definitely leave a comment in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully I don't sound like this by then. See you.